What happened to your face?
Walked into a door.
How many times?
The city's a mess. The people could use a hero.
I hope they find someone.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Marvel and Sony released a brand new Spider-Man Noir trailer for the new live-action Nicolas Cage Noir TV series based on a different version, similar but different version from the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse series, where Nicolas Cage also voiced the character. So they're just bringing him back in live action to play the live-action version. They're literally doing the same thing with Spider-Man Brand New Day and Tombstone. Marvin Jones III voices Tombstone in the Spider-Verse movies. He's just coming back to play the live-action version in Spider-Man Brand New Day. But if it wasn't clear, Spider-Man Noir, this TV series, is not connected to the Spider-Verse movies, and it's not directly connected to Spider-Man Brand New Day or Avengers Doomsday, as far as we know. That doesn't mean that they won't bring him back during Secret Wars, but I'm not expecting Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man Noir character in live action to show up during Doomsday or Secret Wars right now. I know there's going to be a ton of questions about where this fits in the timeline. In the Spider-Verse movies, he's a version of Peter Parker from a 1940s-looking noir version of Earth that's in black and white, which is why he's so flabbergasted by the Rubik's Cube, which is in color. During this live-action series, though, Lord and Miller, who also produce the Spider-Verse movies, it's basically the same people that make the Spider-Verse movies that are doing this in live action, said that he's going to be Ben Reilly in this universe who gets the spider bite, not Peter Parker, for reasons. They didn't say exact reasons, but I'm assuming it's part of the Faustian bargain that they made with Marvel and Sony to be allowed to do a version of a live-action Spider-Man, even though he's so different from Peter Parker, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and from Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, who they're using during Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars in much bigger ways, and obviously Spider-Man Brand New Day. You just have to picture the meeting they had with the brass at Sony and Marvel. Please let us use Spider-Man on TV in live action. It'll be totally different. No one will be confused about which version of Spider-Man is our Spider-Man. Nobody will think that it is your main Tom Holland Spider-Man. Sony Marvel is doing their own reboot of their Spider-Man movies. There'll be completely different actors going forward when they do launch a brand new movie. Probably going to start with a live-action Miles Morales Spider-Man movie. But also Marvel on their side of things is doing a softer version of a reboot. It won't be a full-on hard reboot the way that Sony is doing, but you get the idea. Lots of changes going on behind the scenes, so I think that Lord and Miller were able to slip this through the cracks because they were working on a bunch of other live-action TV series that were Spider-Man related, like a Silk TV series that got canceled. There was a live-action Spider-Woman movie that got canceled, but that was also probably part of the larger reboot plans. They have not said if this is only going to run for one season like limited series or if it will run for multiple seasons. Because it's Nicolas Cage, I'm not going to hold my breath for like 10 seasons. But at the beginning of the footage, the girl you see them meeting with is named Cat Hardy and is their version of Black Cat in this 1940s version of Earth. They released this trailer in color, and the series will be in both black and white and color. For those of you that said they should have released it in black and white, they are releasing it in black and white. You can watch either one. They'll be dropped at the same time. My assumption in this context is that she's some sort of friend, confidant, and he goes to her nightclub where you see a lot of the other major characters on the series, big comic book characters they're based on, congregate, kind of like a Casablanca, Rick's Cafe situation, because Nicolas Cage also said that his version of Spider-Man Noir is going to be a little bit like Humphrey Bogart meets Bugs Bunny. It's hard to tell if the trailer is edited in a linear way when he tells her about the fight that he got into. Like, why is your face all messed up? Well, I got into a couple fights, ran into a door, so on and so forth. First big one is him fighting Electro, if you couldn't tell. That's why it's all charged up here. The person wearing the white jacket in the separate fight is going to be Sandman. But part of the joke here is he's trying to play off the idea that his face just got messed up big time. Like, he's like, you should go see a doctor. Speaking of which, thank you to ZocDoc for sponsoring this video. I know I'm supposed to be invincible and post videos every single day, no matter what. But no surprise, there were a couple times in the last few years when I got so sick that I could not force myself to speak. I don't know if it was kryptonite poisoning, but I actually felt like I was going to die a couple times. I finally had to cave and find a new doctor, but since moving to a new area, it was an absolute nightmare trying to find the right doctor to see based on my healthcare plan. It was almost worse than actually being sick. Figuring everything out sucked until I learned about ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors, choose the right one for your needs, and click instantly to book an appointment. Whether you're looking for dermatology, dentistry, primary care, eye care, or one of the other 150-plus specialties offered on ZocDoc, you can easily search by specialty or symptom to build the healthcare team that's right for you. ZocDoc makes it easy to book an in-network appointment with more than 150,000 providers across 50 states. ZocDoc also helps you get appointments really fast, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking, and you can even score same-day appointments sometimes. No need to call a doctor's office. ZocDoc lets you do everything online. So if you're like me and you typically wait till you're about to die to go see the doctor, stop waiting, stop guessing, and go get yourself the care that you need. Go to my link here, I'll put it up on screen and down in the description below, ZocDoc.com/emergencyawesome to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/emergencyawesome. Don't just get yourself help, get yourself the right help, and thank you to ZocDoc for sponsoring this. But you'll also notice in both of these scenes, it seems like he's already gotten the spider bite, he's already gotten his powers, but he's still figuring things out, and he hasn't fully embraced the role of Spider-Man in this 1940s version of New York City. My assumption is that he gets the spider bite at the beginning of the series, comes into it with powers, and then spends most of it looking for this mystery murder killer, and then by the end of the series has adopted fully the role of friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, so to speak, and begins acting more like traditional Spider-Man. It just happens to be the 1940s period. In a couple of these other scenes, if you couldn't tell, he actually has a detective agency instead of working for this version of the Daily Bugle. But in the other footage, you see Lamorne Morris. He's playing Robbie Robertson, who is a reporter and probably does work for a version of the Daily Bugle or whatever they're going to call it in this universe if it's not the Daily Bugle. That also might be part of the rights issue that Sony had them work out. Like, we'll let you use all these Spider-Man characters, but you got to call them slightly different things. Love the way they edit the spider crawling over the table across the Prime logo because this is going to air on Amazon Prime. It's not airing on Disney Plus, if that wasn't clear. My assumption is that Sony made this and then they took it out to buyers in the market and Amazon just paid more money than Disney wanted to pay to have it on Disney Plus. That's how it works. Just because it is Spider-Man related doesn't mean that it is automatically going to go to Marvel and Disney Plus. But if it wasn't clear, Marvel proper, like Marvel Disney, had no hand in making this at all, but they probably did give notes on it. Like Kevin Feige probably saw all these episodes like, oh, okay. There's a scene of Silvermane meeting with a bunch of people in a rundown building where it seems like there's been some sort of accident. Not totally clear who these other people are. Silvermane is meant to be the big villain of Season 1, like he was in the original Spider-Man Noir comic book series that this is also based on. I don't know how much they're going to change that original comic book run. They changed it a little bit for the Spider-Verse movies. They're probably also going to change it a little bit for this live-action TV series too. But in the voiceover saying this city is a mess, that is Lamorne Morrison's Robbie Robertson. He is meant to be one of Spider-Man's friends who helps him, like he's the reporter that he deals with and gets information from and gives information to while he's investigating things around the city. When you see him investigating this document in his office, this person is Janet. She's his assistant who also helps him out with some of his investigations. I don't know if she's going to wind up being a spin on a classic Spider-Man character either. We get another voiceover from Robbie Robertson, Lamorne Morris, saying the people could use a hero. It seems like he's going to give Spider-Man the call to action, like, look, you have these powers. We will get some sort of version of the Uncle Ben speech. With great power comes great responsibility at some point during the series, but they'll probably put another spin on it the way they did during the Spider-Verse movies, too.
With great power comes
Don't
great...
you dare finish that sentence. Don't do it. I'm sick of it.
We get a couple more scenes of him web-slinging around the city in broad daylight. I'm also guessing that this might be a little bit later in the series, too. Maybe after he's fully embraced his role as Spider-Man, protector of the city, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. All the different gang members that you see him fighting around the city, like these different ruffians, seem like they probably work for Silvermane because he is the big boss, so to speak, the kingpin of this era, to make as many Spider-Man puns as possible. Speaking of which, we're going to get a whole lot more Kingpin during Daredevil Born Again Season 2 in the present day of the MCU. I know there's going to be a lot of questions about Spider-Man cameos during that. Which Daredevil characters will also appear in Spider-Man Brand New Day? Because both of those movies are taking place in New York City pretty close together in the timeline. Unfortunately, Vincent D'Onofrio has poured a lot of water on people wanting to see Kingpin show up in a Spider-Man movie. Technically, Sony has the movie rights to Kingpin, not the TV rights, which is why Marvel TV can do Kingpin just fine. So he actually said if you're going to petition someone to get Kingpin in a Spider-Man movie, it has to be Sony, not Marvel and Disney. When you see him rip his Spider-Man mask off at the grave here, we don't really know who is in this grave. It might be his version of an Uncle Ben or somebody that he really cared about who died because of some tragedy, and it helps inspire him to become fully Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Basically riffing on the classic Peter Parker Spider-Man Uncle Ben story. That was kind of the idea with the original Spider-Man Noir comic book that they turned into the Spider-Verse character, and now they're just doing in live action. What they're actually calling the different versions of the series, different types of episodes, are authentic black and white because it's supposed to be in black and white, like they wanted it to be in black and white, but it sounds like they were afraid that people might not watch it like casual viewers, so they also releasing it in color as a sort of stopgap, like, please watch this, it's also in color, which they're calling True Hue full color, but it's technically not meant to be viewed in color. The other big reminder is that they're releasing all the episodes binge style at once. I believe it's meant to be 8 episodes, so I will do at least a couple videos, but they won't be like the traditional single episode videos, like one video for every episode, like I would normally do if they were releasing it weekly. Either way, I will do videos for the series when it does release, so don't worry about it. But I will probably do them in black and white, or at least the first one in black and white, and just see how people like it. For the most part, on my last video, everybody said that they would prefer to watch it in black and white, but I think that's mostly comic book fans, like people who would normally be watching my comic book-based videos. Everybody post all your reactions in the comments below, and let me know if you want them to do multiple seasons of this show, or if you're fine with them just doing a single season. There's going to be a bunch of big stuff coming up. We'll get the official Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer pretty soon. Should drop in the next month. I just did a really big video about it because it seems like it is now confirmed, or people are saying that it's confirmed. I don't know if it's absolutely confirmed that Sadie Sink is playing a version of the new MCU Jean Grey, and she will be the Jean Grey that winds up on the brand new X-Men team in the X-Men Reboot movie after Secret Wars, and all the X-Men movies after that too. Everybody click here for that video to learn what's going on, and everybody click here for my other Spider-Man Noir trailer. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.